why we're all actually here. And it is because, well, we entered the Hall of Fame as a select distinguished district in District 71. So I think that deserves a round of applause for everyone in the districts and what we've done and what we've achieved. As far as I understand, I don't want to get these numbers wrong, but it's the first time we've achieved this in 5, 6 or 7 years. I think one of those might be right, but a long time since we've actually hit that mark. So very broad range of congratulations to everyone, every club, every area, every division involved in achieving that. So moving on, what is it we're going to talk about tonight and who's going to be celebrated? Well, frankly, quite a few people, because coming up, we're going to have an opening address from our current district director, Madam Elizabeth Jordan. But we're going to do more than that this evening as well, because we've got our international president, Morag Matheson, in the room. Morag, could you give us a wave? If you're there, can't see you on my screen, but I think you're here tonight. Welcome. And then we're going to recognise excellence in our district, the recognition of some really important people. And I think it was mentioned already about the Portlaoise conference. I think it was a great experience, very first time for you, Anne. I think we've got something special lined up to celebrate that. And then, of course, we do get into meeting our district contest champions. So for any of you that were there in Portlaoise, you will have seen all of those winners. We've got a very brief appearance money short panel discussion with all 4 of them here this evening, but also to say, I think it's on the 30th of July, we're planning to do a much longer session with each of those winners. So something also to look forward to. We're going to go through our district awards, and this is going to include an address from distinguished past international president Ted Corcoran. So again, we look forward to hearing Ted talk. Play on words there, I guess. And we're also going to hear from our poet in residence, Mike Keenan. And then, of course, we're going to finish the evening, as we're going to start the evening just now, with some words from our district director, Elizabeth Jordan. And actually, that's where we're going to move to next. So could you all give a warm welcome, please, for our district director.
Thank you very much indeed, distinguished Toastmaster Nigel. Welcome to the District 71 Hall of Fame. As Nigel said, it's not only the District 71 Hall of Fame, it is the Select Distinguished Hall of Fame. I'm Elizabeth Jordan, your District Director for all of 3 days. And I'm here tonight with the other members of the district leadership team, outgoing and incoming. And we also have some very esteemed members in our midst. I will read out the names of the ones I can see or I know, and please forgive me if I've missed anyone. But first and foremost, we have the privilege of having with us our international president, Morag Matheson. Can we just give her a warm D71 welcome? We also have with us 2 other past international presidents, distinguished Toastmaster Ted Corcoran and distinguished Toastmaster Pat Johnson. We have an past international director, Rick Cedar, and there may be other international directors, past and present. Welcome to you all. I know we have members of the DEC, i.e. the division directors and area directors. We have winners amongst us, all will be revealed. And I will also want to say a warm welcome, because I know there's some family, friends, colleagues, neighbours, whoever I could get to join tonight. And we are in for a treat. It's an evening of celebration. So let's get the show on the road. And we're going to do so with an address from our international president, Morag Matheson. As I said, she doesn't need a lot of introduction. She's Toastmasters royalty. She's been to District 71 before. We know her. We read her articles in the magazines. We hear her presentations. And one thing I would like to say is she has this distinction of being the first female president, international president outside of the US. And we're delighted she is from our shores, from Scotland, now residing in Germany. I won't keep you any longer. I know you're all desperately waiting to hear from this esteemed person that we know, love, and respect tremendously. A huge round of applause for Madam International President. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam District Director, for 2 and a bit more days. And good evening, members and friends of District 71. In December 1988, Sir James Black received the Nobel Prize for Medicine. Sir James, just like me, was born in Scotland. He was a man who made breakthroughs in healthcare that benefited humankind, and he gave the world several groups of drugs, including beta blockers, which you may have heard of. As a young medical student, James divided his time between his studies and dancing. He discovered that he wasn't as good at caring for patients as his doctor brother was, but he was incredibly curious. That curiosity became a driving force throughout all of his life, and he devoted his career to medical research. His success came not because he was any kind of superhuman. His success came because of 5 different things. He worked hard to know as much as he could about his subject. He sought out people who could help him to know more. We might call them mentors. He looked for those working at the leading edge of his profession until he became that person. He built teams that collaborated and where everyone worked for the common good. And finally, he taught the next generation of students, and by doing that, he created the next generation of researchers. Like most Nobel laureates, James Black never set out to win the Nobel medal. They set out simply to expand bodies of knowledge, to find solutions to problems, and to make life better for us all. I think Nobel Prize winners have quite a lot in common with Toastmasters. Their recipe for success isn't so different to our recipe for success. It begins when we commit to working the programme. We expand our knowledge, not just about public speaking or leadership, but our knowledge of ourselves. Who are we as speakers, as leaders, as people? We have mentors, people who encourage us and guide us. And then as we become more established and confident, we look to do the same for others so that they may benefit in the same way that we did. We learn to work with others. Some of my greatest highlights in Toastmasters have come through relationships I've built. Perhaps you can say the same. The officers I served with in my club, working out the plan to have a club that we can all be proud of. Those I shared a vision with for a new club and who gathered together to make that vision a reality. It warms my heart when I see the development of the members in a club and the leaders in a district. And then I realise that even if I was never their direct mentor, I was a part of their journey and they have been a part of mine too. We create an environment where people flourish, when we show kindness and understanding, when we welcome new members and help them settle in, and when we celebrate the success of each person, however small that step might be. We create an atmosphere for excellence, where we live in the hope, the belief that we can make tomorrow better than today, in our club, in our district, and in ourselves. Working the programme this year in District 71 has led the district to the Select Distinguished status for the first time in 8 years. That's a huge congratulations to all of you, and a special mention to the 9 divisions and 28 areas that have already reached at least distinguished status. But there's 2 more days to go. There could be more. Many awards will be handed over this evening, and although not everyone will go home with a trophy, everyone shares in the story of success. Behind each award is an individual story of resilience, of teamwork, and a drive for excellence. The success of your district is down to the contribution and effort of everyone. My thanks to each person who has contributed to the tremendous success in District 71, including to those giants who laid the foundations and on whose shoulders you now stand. Thank you for growing and supporting quality clubs where people develop and flourish and experience the impact being a Toastmaster can have on their lives. I thank each one of you for all that you do to make the opportunity of Toastmasters into the reality of transformation. As you finish the year strong, you are fulfilling the club and district missions across the whole district, and we are incredibly proud of your progress and of the achievements of the members of District 71 and of your leaders. I encourage you all to continue building a culture of success so that members, clubs, and the district will have much to celebrate beyond this special centennial year. Madam District Director, dear Elizabeth, I thank you for your vision, your tenacity, and the leadership of your team and this district. I look forward with unbelievable joy to seeing you lead your team onto the world stage in Anaheim to receive the recognition of everyone as we celebrate all that is great in Toastmasters. Congratulations once again, District 71. It's been an amazing year, and I wish you so many more to come. Madam District Director.
Thank you so much, International President Morag. So great to, I wouldn't say meet you in person, but see you virtually. Thank you so much for coming and joining our great celebration here this evening. I should have guessed, but I didn't actually realise that you heralded from Scotland. So actually, as far as I'm concerned, you're part of District 71. So you're very welcome this evening. Thank you so much for sharing those kind words. And now we're going to carry on with the recognition part of our event here this evening. So what is it we're actually going to recognise? Well, I gave you a few clues a little bit earlier, but it's just a little bit more detail. We're going to talk about our distinguished Toastmasters who has achieved DTM status in this Toastmasters year. Those that have also been recognised for the Distinguished Club programme. We're going to go through educational awards and some very significant milestones within our district. We're also going to touch on the friends of our district. Who might they be? We are going to find out. And as promised, we do actually have some conference highlights from that great district conference in Portlaoise. So to move us forward, we're now going to talk about the district chairs and leads recognised by the awards and recognition team. I think I need to go one more. And our Distinguished Toastmaster Award presented by Distinguished Toastmaster himself, DTM, none other than Phil Heath. Good evening, Phil.
Good evening, Nigel. Thank you. Madam International President, Madam District Director, former past international whatever, and former past directors, but more importantly, fellow Toastmasters, good evening and welcome. Tonight, it gives me great pleasure to announce the recipients of Toastmasters' highest award. These members have demonstrated their commitment to the Toastmasters values, integrity, truth and honesty in all that they've done, respect for others and by others. And in this award, it highlights service to others both inside and outside Toastmasters. And lastly, excellence, the highest award Toastmasters conveys the distinguished Toastmasters. Please join me in welcoming to our new distinguished Toastmasters for 24. Please put your hands together for distinguished Toastmaster Tina Norbury, distinguished Toastmaster Patricia O'Reilly, distinguished Toastmaster David Ryan, and last but not least, distinguished Toastmaster Nigel Smith. I'd like to say they've all committed to the Toastmaster journey, and with the Distinguished Toastmaster Award, you've joined a fabulous group of people. Let's keep that going, and I can only just remind you of the 3 magic words that were given to me when I achieved my first Distinguished Toastmaster Award by Linda Malloy, the District Governor of the Year, and she said, do it again. So I would now add those 3 words to your challenge for the coming years, and congratulations to all Distinguished Toastmasters this year. Well done to all. Madam District Director.
I'll take that back, Phil, for that, if I may. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing that. And it's always great to get a shout out. What we do next is move on to the Distinguished Club programme. And to do that, can we please welcome Danny Banks to the stage, please? Currently Programme Quality Director, but also District Director-elect, almost Trump or Biden-esque, that sounds. So welcome, Danny. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you, Nigel. And I'm a little bit upset about being compared to those 2 distinguished gentlemen after last night's performance. So thank you very much for that. I might not know where I'm looking on this iPad, but I think I've still got my faculties together. I hope. Are you there, Nigel, or have you run off?
No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay. So yeah, I'm ready. So would you like me to go ahead?
In your own time. In your own time, Dan.
The distinguished programme highlights distinguished quality at district, division, area and club level, and is a measure of success in gaining new members, gaining educational awards, and doing the administrative work or paperwork that goes with Toastmasters. I'd like to start, it's been mentioned several times tonight, but I'm going to mention again that we are a select distinguished district, which as International President Morag said is the first time in 8 years. So we're incredibly proud of that. I'd also like to say that if you look at the statistic, the board just for today, we are Smedley distinguished for distinguished clubs, and we are almost President's distinguished for membership. So it's been a fantastic year at a district level, and you know we're now up there with the other select distinguished and President's distinguished districts in the area. So well done to everybody for that. Now we come down to the divisions. We have 9 divisions that have achieved 1 level of. Oh, you want me to do the club first, do you, Nigel?
Sorry, Danny. Yeah, this is
yeah,
the
okay. I'll do it backwards. Okay, I can multitask. Distinguished clubs. To be, well, we all know that to be a distinguished clubs, you've got to have at least 5 goals. So you need to have gained an educational award, some membership awards, and so on. In our district, we have 32 distinguished clubs, 34 select distinguished clubs. There's been 2 more since this was made. And we have 48 president, and it's gone up to 51. My figures are from Wednesday. So we've got 32 distinguished, 32 select distinguished, and 51 presidents distinguished clubs. And that represents an awful lot of hard work on behalf of the committees of those clubs. So a big congratulations and a big shout out to them, because they've done so much work to get to that level. And it means that they are, you know, we're going along with a job that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to gain members. We are supposed to get people to move along on their educational paths. And that's, and there are so many clubs that were close to that as well. So nearly 60% of our clubs are distinguished or better. So we move on to distinguished area now, please. So again, an area, there is distinguished, select distinguished, and presidents. Distinguished areas, we have 11. At select distinguished, we have 14. 14 now. And at presidents distinguished, we have 3 areas. We have Division D, Area 8, which is Tower, Clonmel, DLS and Wordsmith. We've got Area 6, which is East Midlands, Leicester City, Nottingham, Robin Hood, No Excuses, and Lincoln Speakers. And we have Area H20, which is Hearts, East Hearts and North Hearts, Stevenage, GSK, and DLRC. There's a lot of heart in H22. So well done to all those areas for reaching that level. And then at distinguished division level, distinguished division level, we have 1 distinguished division, J. We have 5 select distinguished divisions, which are B, C, D, G, and M. And finally, we have 3 President's Distinguished Divisions, E, F, and H. So a massive congratulations to everybody who has done so brilliantly in all clubs. And well done to those who have got distinguished status and better in clubs, areas, and divisions. And it's, as our international president Morag said, teamwork, and there have been a lot of hard work and teamwork in all those clubs, areas, and divisions. So thank you very much, Mr. MC. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Danny. And I really like those the culture of success we've got here in District 71.
Absolutely.
And what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the educational achievements. And I'd like you, I'm sorry, I didn't, this has changed. Sorry about that. We're going to move on to the educational achievements. I'd like you to give a warm welcome to the virtual stage for Phil Sturgeon, Division C Director. Hi, Phil. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Nigel. I'm very well, and yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good. If just a little under-rehearsed, I have to say. But I'd like to hand over to you just to take us through all the educational achievements this fantastic district has achieved this Toastmasters year.
It would be my honour and welcome. Thank you. Education lies at the heart of Toastmasters. It enables us to grow and become more proficient and inspiring speakers and leaders. The following education awards reflect and celebrate exceptional examples of learning and growth from District 71 Toastmasters. This year, I'm delighted to share, next slide please. We have had a total of 30 Pathway Mentor Awards. We have had 152 Level 5 completions. We have had 124 Triple Crowns awarded. And we've had a total of 1,540 awards achieved across the district. That's an incredible achievement. Well done, everyone. I'd now like to hand over to our district admin manager, DTM, Steve Campion. Steve, over to you.
Thank you very much, Phil. Madam International President, Madam district director and our wonderful past international presidents, directors and Toastmasters. It's a joy to be here. I even got dressed up. In my day job, in my life, I have read thousands of CVs. They've always been entertaining, particularly the ones that say, I've got great attention to detail, and then they've got spelling mistakes. I don't read them just for the fun of it. I read them because I'm looking for experience. I have the pleasure of celebrating some experience this evening. The experience of our clubs that have achieved amazing milestones of serving their clubs and their members over the years, and of specific members that have been in our district or been in Toastmasters for a long time, learned and supported others. If I could ask Nigel and Olga to move to the next slide, please. For our clubs, we've had some clubs that have been around for a very long time. I would like to call out Limerick, Clonmel, Lucan, Bray, Malahide, Tower, Dunleary, Blarney, Ennis, Engineers, Fermoy, Cork, Hellfire, Ablana and Dublin at amazing 65 years. Please give them and all their members a massive round of applause. That's a long time serving our members and serving our communities. If I could ask for the next slide, please. We then have individual members who've been members of Toastmasters for a very long time. Once again, learning and growing and helping others to learn and grow through the Toastmasters programme. We have Greg Butler, Martin Cowley, Robert Finch, John Joyce, Kevin Kinahan, David Minzy, Nola Bearer, and Helen Spillan with 35 years of experience within Toastmasters. 36 years we have Paul Ellis, Julian Hammond, and Kathy Shelbourne. 37 years, it's going up, Seamus Dawley, Helen Kinahan, Michael Kavanagh, Mary Murta, and Bartholomew White. 38 years, someone you might have heard of, Ted Corcoran, Eddie Dunphy, Esther Penny, Harry Knox, Gus Milligan, and Billy Walsh. And then getting beyond 40 years, Patricia Foley, Giles Kerr, Una Healy, Evelyn Campani, James Linan, John Quirk, and Robin Ward. And with an amazing 59 years, I'm going to come back to this in a moment, James Plunkett. Please give everyone who's got these wonderful milestone achievements a massive round of applause for the length of time that they've dedicated to their own learning and to the Toastmasters organisation. I've mentioned 3 clubs in particular that I think are worthy of special mention. They are the Hellfire Club, which is celebrating this year its 61st anniversary. The Ablana Club, its 64th anniversary, and Dublin Toastmasters, where it feels like so many things began, celebrating 65 years. Congratulations to all of those clubs and all of those members. And finally, when we talk about length of service, length of commitment, length of growth within the organisation, our longest serving Toastmaster, who we heard from in a webinar a little while ago, is James Plunkett. So please congratulate James on almost 60 years in Toastmasters. And with that, I would like to hand back to our hosts. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. And next up, we've got Friends of the District recognition, recognised by current District Director Elizabeth Jordan and I believe our parliamentarian Larry Lyons. And first, we're going to move to Elizabeth.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Nigel. This year, I believe for the very first time, we've introduced a new category in the Hall of Fame, and it's called Friends of District 71. And there's a quote I love that says, people come into our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And in District 71, we've been very honored to have lots of people come into the district, but there are some that we hope will be there for a lifetime because they have made a massive impact in helping the district to reach its mission. The first person to receive the honor of being formally called a Friend of District 71 is past International President Pat Johnson, Distinguished Toastmaster. She is a cheerleader for District 71, as she is for many districts around the world. We particularly appreciate the fact that she has supported us in working with our corporate clubs. By getting our clubs over the line this year, this has almost certainly helped us to reach Select Distinguished status. Her book, The Handbook for Building and Sustaining Vibrant Toastmasters Programs in corporations, is the Bible that our division directors, the DLT, and many other members use to help work with corporate clubs. But that aside, PID Pat is a person who is warm, friendly, generous, and absolutely inspirational. And I would say, if I have to put ticks next to names who've helped us to get across the line, your name is one of them. And that is why today I want to celebrate you by formally inviting you to be a friend of District 71. Please give our past international president, distinguished Toastmaster, and for newly created friend of District 71, a massive round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam PIP. I would now like to hand over to Parliamentarian Larry Lyons to celebrate our next friend of the district.
Thank you, Madam District Director Elizabeth. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce our next and recognise our next friend of D71, and that's Rick Sider. Rick is a distinguished Toastmaster, past International Director, and registered parliamentarian. Now, Rick has been a great support to us here in D71 over the past 2 years as we prepare for our meetings, DEC and DCM. And how did he do that? Well, he provided training sessions to us, pre-meeting preparation, passing on his great skills and knowledge that he has observed over many years. He was an observer at our DEC meetings and our DCM meetings. And also he provided post-meeting feedback, which is very, very important indeed. And if that wasn't enough, he made time to attend one of my parliamentary training sessions that are run each year here in D71. We really have benefited from working with him. A worthy recognition here this evening. Congratulations, Rick Sider. Thank you.
Thank you so much there, Larry. We do have an absent. Sue was meant to...
No, Elizabeth will do that.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just repeating a note I've just had that Sue's not here. So I'll hand back over to you, Elizabeth.
Thank you. We have our third friend of the district, and it gives me a huge amount of pleasure to tell you that our third friend of District 71 is distinguished Toastmaster Cajetan Barreto from District 20, the Kuwait Challengers. I met him, I think about 3-4 years ago when I was first PRM. And the reason we're celebrating you tonight, Cajetan, is many reasons, but you're known as for your series Tech for Toastmasters. But what you did for our district is you brought creativity, innovation to our district, and you forced us to be early adopters. So, for example, you were the first to bring Canva to our district. You were quick off the mark with Yodlee. Then we were struggling to optimize and work out how to do hybrid. You were there at our sides. You help us to use Zoom in ways we couldn't even imagine. But what I find most admirable about you is your generosity. I know I can call you at midnight, and I did do once, and you are as helpful as you always are. You're there for us. You've helped our district. And I believe through what you've done, that's part of the reason why we are a select distinguished district. So it is my pleasure to name you a friend of District 71. A huge round of applause for this amazing Toastmaster. Thank you, Mr. MC. Back to you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations there to Katijan. I know he spoke to me about Yodlee in the past, and I've also benefited from his great Canva webinar. So thank you so much for that. Now we move on, and actually we're going to start to celebrate something that happened very, very recently, and that was the Fort, the District 71 conference in Portlaoise in the island of Ireland. And you may, some of you in the crowd here tonight may see yourself on that particular picture there, loads of smiling faces. But what we do have, if I've got this all teed up right, is a montage of some pictures and a bit of music just to share the joy for a couple of minutes on all the great things that went on in that district conference. Enjoy. And I'm glad that everyone enjoyed that, and it was great to see that. And what we're going to move on to now is a segment where actually we're going to celebrate our newly crowned speaking champions from that district conference. And to do that, I'm going to hand you over to the capable hands of Paul O'Mahony. Paul, are you there?
I certainly am, and I'm utterly delighted to be here, and I'm delighted to welcome you all to a short but extraordinary gathering of champions. We have got, for the first time ever, the winner of the topics contest, the winner of the humorous contest, the winner of the evaluation contest, and the winner of the evaluation speech contest. Let's hear from them. Let's hear from them. Are they all spotlighted? When they're all spotlighted, I better get them to say their name first, because some of you have never met them before. So, Zoom Master Extraordinary, you tell me when I can say, hey, there is James McGinty, there is Kyle Murta, there is John Marsh, and there is Paul Donald and Kana. You just tell me when that's...
Paul, good to go, Paul.
Pardon?
Good to go, Paul.
Good to go, right. So everybody is spotlighted. Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, how are you feeling? Let me go first of all with the first one. I'm going to ask you all this question. How did you feel when you heard your name being called out as the winner? And tell us one thing you think helped you win. So let me go first of all to James McGinty, please. James, how did you feel?
Thank you very much indeed, Paul. How did I feel when my name got called out? A lot more relaxed when I heard the name of the third place and the second place getting called out, because the tough bit's waiting to see if you do actually get called out. So there is, do you know, it's more of a sense of relief than a sense of triumph, it has to be said. And what one thing helped me to win? That's really, really easy, because it was the evaluation contest. And the most important thing for an evaluator, competition or not, is to actually care about helping the speaker to improve themselves.
Oh, fabulous. And look, there goes the president, current president of Central Toastmasters, and also a member of Pegasus Speakers and Southside Speakers. So there's a really serious Toastmaster. Let me have the second person from Scotland then. Kyle Murtagh. Kyle, look, you were also from the same club as James. I don't know how you managed to get through, both of you, but never mind. And you're the vice president membership there, and your members also of Glasgow Clyde. How did you feel? You've done it before, but how did you feel this year to be called as a winner? And what do you think especially helped you with this year's?
Yes, I guess to use a word that Morag will hear quite often in Germany, it felt wunderbar. Just fantastic. It was brilliant because, like James says, it is such a relief when you do get that news. And what helped me was a lot of preparation for the table topics. A lot of people think you can't prepare for table topics. I don't think this is true. I did a table topic every day for about a month leading up to the contest, and it worked out quite well in the end.
Well, that's terrific. Most people here do table topics every hour of the day. Maybe don't think about it as a table topic, though. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to ask John Marsh. John, the funniest man in the district. Or could I say humorous man in the district?
Wouldn't say that.
From Huntingdonshire Speakers. John, same question. How did you feel and what got you to win?
Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly, John.
Yeah. What was the questions again? Sorry.
Right. How did you feel when your
Yeah.
name was called out as winner?
Yeah.
And what do you think gave you the edge over the others this year?
Okay, right. I'll start with the second question. So just, I can't remember. I think it was just before the finals. I was speaking to another contestant, a woman from London, and she said something to me, and I thought, oh yeah. She said, do you know what? She said, we're just here to entertain people for an hour, you know? And I just got up there and I thought, yeah, I'm here to entertain people. I'm going to enjoy myself, have a good time. Honestly, I really didn't think about, I'm not just saying this, didn't think about winning or not winning or anything. So I just got up there, here to entertain people and have fun. And, you know, that was really important. And then how did I feel when my name was called out? I was actually quite surprised because I don't know, you know, like as you're doing the competition, you think, okay, right, yeah, that one. And I was there was a couple of people that I thought was going to be in the top 3 that weren't. And so I was quite surprised when I was pulled out. I mean, I thought I'd done a good job, but yeah, I was quite surprised. And that piece of advice really helped me. Just go out there, entertain people, have fun.
Fabulous advice, John,
Thank you.
to pass on. By the way, I can tell you this, that our district director, Elizabeth Jordan, is on the record, I believe, as saying that the humorous speech contest was the best one she'd ever been at in her whole life. That's what I remember. Now we come to our international speech contest winner, Paul Donald Entana, forgive me. Okay, Paul, what did it for you and how did you feel with that basketball?
Okay, thanks for introducing me, first of all. So it's actually Paul, Donald, and Kana. I know it's difficult to get it first time, but hey, I just thought I'd put it out there. But how I felt, so I felt great. I mean, that's something that I was looking forward to be honest. It was my first conference and I didn't know what to expect, but I was just looking forward to the energy of the crowd. We had a lot of people in there as well. So I think the moment I got invited to get on stage, I just lost in that moment. I just tried to soak everything in, really, because there was probably 300 plus people in the audience, and it was an incredible moment for me to just realize how far I've come in my Toastmasters journey. But answering to what helped me get to that point, preparation, 100%. I rehearsed every single day, similar to what Kyle said as well. Like, I put in work to get to that point. But then also, I think the energy that was there in the building was amazing. Honestly, it was my first in-person conference. Like I said, we had like 300 plus people in there, and the moment I got on stage, I felt that energy, and I knew this was going to be my biggest and my best speech to this day, really. So, and that's what happened, really. So yeah.
And Paul, I on everyone's behalf, I want to wish you all the very best luck this coming week. Is it this coming week? The winners of the regional level of the international speech contest are going to be announced. I'm not sure what day it's coming, but I want to wish you every success.
I was gonna drop some bad news here, hey. We actually got the results.
Oh.
And yeah, next year, not this year, hey.
You are a winner. Everybody here knows that. You are a winner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Now, let me go right back to James. Haven't heard from you for, what is it, half an hour or 20 minutes? Not sure how long it is. But James, look, you're a coach. You're a speaking coach. People come to you for advice. Now, my guess is you're going to be trying to win again next year. You've been trying to win every year since I've been a Toastmaster, and you have won several times. But I want you to give 3 pieces of advice, 3 short staccato pieces of advice to other people, so they might give you a run for your money next year.
First one, start early. Don't start preparing something 2 weeks before your club contest. That's not going to work. Second one, practice, but get lots of feedback in your practice. Practice is no good if you're not getting feedback, because you might be practicing the wrong thing. And the other, and the most important piece of advice of all, and we've all heard it, it's not about the winning, it's about the taking part. That is nonsense. You enter a contest with the intention of winning it. It's not about the taking part. Give it your all and try to win. Those are my 3 pieces of advice.
Oh, James, that's fantastic. You remind me of the swimmer who took a minute longer than anybody else to swim in the Olympic final. But anyway, that's another story. I'm going to ask you all guys the same question, but I do hope this is being recorded and that you'll develop your own transcriptions, because here you're going to get, what is it, 4 3's 12 bits of advice. Kyle, over to you. What advice would you give a person who's going to win the topics next year?
Well, for the topic specifically, I would say the first thing is to remain as calm as possible. I think if you're going in with a lot of anxiety or a lot of nerves, you can literally miss the question that has been asked of you. So you've got to try and remain as calm as possible and focus every fiber of your being on the words coming out of the contest chair's mouth, so you can give it your best. The second thing I would say is try to not go for the low-hanging fruit. Try to not go for the low-hanging fruit. I think quite often, if we get a topic, for instance, I remember my semi-final was, if you could be an animal, what animal would you be? I think a lot of people naturally just drift towards the animals they experience every day, like a cat or a dog or something like this. I said I would be a dinosaur. And that worked quite well because it was different. So always try and go for something a little bit more unique if you can in your answers. And then thirdly, I would just say have fun. Because what is the point in doing all of this? What is the point of taking on all of this pressure if you're not going to at least enjoy the moment that you're up there? And when you enjoy it, the audience are more likely to enjoy it as well.
Wow. And there, Kyle, you've given a wonderful demonstration of alliteration. I heard focus, fiber, and fun. Well, let's go on. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you very much. John Marsh. John, what's the advice you give to the next year's potential winner in the humorous contest?
I agree with what Kyle said, like go and have fun. I do actually agree with what James said. Like I think, you know, it is all about taking part, but you want to go and try and win. If you don't end up winning, doesn't matter, but you want to go and try and win. And for the humorous speech, well, maybe for anything, but don't try and, I think, cram too much in, because you want to go up there, you want to look like you're having a good time. Hopefully people will laugh, so you want to be able to stop and let them have a laugh, and then maybe do a bit of improvisation. So don't try and cram too much in. So I would say have fun, go to the conference, meet people, enjoy it, learn stuff. Yeah, participate, of course, but you know, give it a good old shot. You're going to try and win. If you don't, doesn't matter. And don't try and cram too much in. So you've possibly got a bit of time to improvise. That's always good. And stop, because people will laugh.
Yes, John, it's that last point about stop, give people a
Yeah.
chance to have a good laugh. Now, who in this audience wouldn't like to have a good laugh, a good chuckle, or even a good smile? I'm looking to see who's smiling, of course. But there we are. Let's come now to, I'm going to get it right this time, Paul Donald and Kana.
Hey.
Paul Donald.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's very good. Well,
Thank you.
Right. So, my 3 pieces of advice. I would probably say the first one, and probably the most important one, is be yourself. Because I think one thing I realized as you go through different stages, starting from your club to what else? We got area, division, district, etc., you start to compare yourself to other speakers, and you might fall into that trap of trying to mimic their style. Just find your style and be yourself. That's my advice, number 1. Number 2, find somebody who can help you get there, especially if it's your first time. That's the first thing I did, really. I just found somebody who's been to at least district level and could help me get there, mentor me along the way. And I'll probably, third one, I would say, seek some feedback, but also seek feedback from the right people. As you progress along the different stages, just make sure that you seek feedback from people, ideally who have done it before, and apply that feedback into your speech. So yeah, be very selective about who you're seeking your feedback from.
Lovely. And Paul, would you mentor anybody next year or coach them in speech? I mean, if they approached you in the right way, but would you actually do it, or would you regard that as a distraction from your own career?
Of course, I'll say no. I'll just say, hey, just go away. No, no, no. Of course I would. I think if so, because somebody helped me within this community, so why would I not help somebody else? I mean, unless we're in the same competition, then I'm sorry. But other than that, yes, I'll probably do.
Oh, that's good. That's great generosity. Kyle, what about you? Would you mentor anybody next year, this coming year?
Yeah, I mean, definitely for the table topics and the evaluation. I can't really speak on the humorous speech. I've never had success there. But I think, yeah, absolutely. And those, specifically those 2 contests, I think you learn a lot of different skills from each of them. So yeah, I would pass on any advice I could to anyone who wants to have it.
Lovely. So we'll just have the quick answer from the other 2. John Marsh, you're next, please. Are you up for coaching anybody this coming year?
Totally.
No pressure, John. No pressure. Sorry, no pressure.
Totally. Yeah. Anytime.
Wonderful, wonderful. And James McGinty, you had the first word. I give you the last word.
You're a generous man, Paul. And yes, of course I would. Absolutely. I think it's important that the winners always coach and mentor the future winners.
Thank you. Please, as many of you as possible, unmute yourselves and shout appreciation.
Hey.
Champion.
Hey,
Yes.
congratulations.
To you, Nigel, back to you, or to Olga, whoever's in charge.
I'll just take it for the next 1 minute. Thank you so much, Paul. And I can tell you that that was a fantastic learning exercise for me, at least. But that represents probably just the edited highlights, because if you want to see more of John, James, Kyle and Paul, sounds like a New Age Beatles, doesn't it? But if you want to hear more about them, we've got a new exclusive, longer podcast session coming the back end of July. I think it's July the 30th, where we'll have more time spent with those guys. So there's some more insights in how to become a district winner. But what I want to do now, I want to get back into screen sharing mode. And I want to pass on to my co-host this evening, the lovely Olga, that's going to talk us through the second part of the awards. Olga.
Thank you so much, Nigel. It's been amazing so far. What a panel. I think we'll have to call it the panel of dulcet tones, or just the amazing accents. It was wonderful, and I'm so looking forward to July 30th when we kick off that series with the Champions panel live stream. So very, very exciting. So here we are, Madam International Director, Madam International President Morag, Madam District Director Elizabeth. Welcome everybody else. We're moving on to the awards section now. Just ahead of that, I'm going to read a list of names because I would like to. These are all the district leadership committees and chairs that are working really hard in the district that we don't often know about. I'm on one of those chairs, but I actually didn't know some of my colleagues. So I'm just going to read through those names and who's been doing it for the last year, and we'll finish in a couple of days' time. So for District Leadership Committee, we had immediate past District Director Brenda Lannon, Distinguished Toastmaster. For the District Alignment Committee, and we met them at the District Council meeting at Portlaoise, we had John Kendall, Distinguished Toastmaster, and Tim Leach. The District Audit Committee, again working in the background, and we don't see too much of them, but they're busy, and that's led by John Kelly, Distinguished Toastmaster. The District Content Test Chair, we all know her, and I believe she's here tonight, an amazing powerhouse when it comes to contests. That's Liz Welch, Distinguished Toastmaster. And we had a Chief Judge, Bob Ferguson, who looked after the UK side, also Distinguished Toastmaster, and Peter McCauley looked after all the lovely Chief Judges that came from the Republic of Ireland. The District Regalia Chair is Kevin Lee, Distinguished Toastmaster. The District Webmaster is Steve Campion, who we heard from earlier on today, and he is assisted or co-chaired with Jed Byrne. Our District Distinguished Toastmaster Chair, who was here earlier on, who recognised our wonderful 4 new Distinguished Toastmasters, is Phil Heath. We have a District Recognise and Award Chairs, and that's myself and Nigel, and we have had a ball this year putting together events like this every quarter. We have our wonderful district timer who's here tonight, Matty Byrne, and as we said in the video, the man who measures time. We have our Zoom Master. Our district Zoom Master is Sarinka Janga, and she's in charge of the UK. She's also Distinguished Toastmaster. We have David Clinton looking after all of us in Ireland when we're online. And we have the Credentials Chair and the Parliamentaries and the Election Manager. They all work together. That's Larry Lyons, Pauline McCabe, Distinguished Toastmaster, and Nick Collins. I'm almost finished. District Youth Leadership Chair, a really important part of Toastmasters, getting those young people into us and interested. And that's Brendan Houghton, Distinguished Toastmaster, Liz Burnett, Sumesh Kumar, Distinguished Toastmaster, and our lovely Patricia Radley. 2 more to go. District Help Hub is Sue Burnett, our Public Relations Manager, and she's also a Distinguished Toastmaster. And the District Easy Speak Lead, not all of our clubs use that, but it is an important part of many of our clubs. And that's run by Kit Barrett, Distinguished Toastmaster, and Samantha Warner, also Distinguished Toastmaster. So I'd like everybody to give them a round of applause. And while we're doing the applause, I'd ask Nigel to start screen sharing again, and we'll get on with tonight's Oscar show. So what awards do we have tonight? We have the Public Relations Event of the Year. We will also be crowning our Team of the Year. We have a new award. It's the Step Up to Service Award. So who is going to be our winners? We have an award Above and Beyond. And then the traditional ones, the Area Director of the Year. we have the Division Director of the Year. We have a nice one, which Elizabeth's going to look at, which is the District Director Special Awards. And there's going to be 3 of them this evening. And then finally, the big one, it's like the best actor, the best actress. It's the Gaylord Giles Toastmaster of the Year Award. Gaylord Giles, Ted's going to be speaking later on, and he will bring you up to speed of who Gaylord Giles is. So now our first award, I'd like to welcome up our wonderful, hardworking public relations manager, Sue Burnett, and she is going to reveal who has achieved the PR Event of the Year. Over to you, Sue.
Thank you, Madam Olga Byrne. Madam International President, Madam District Director, fellow Toastmasters, this is one of the most exciting moments of this year. And I am here to share with you, as we gather here to celebrate excellence and innovation in our Toastmasters community, of which there are many. We are privileged to honour an individual who has tirelessly made efforts and a creative spirit, has left an indelible mark on our district. District 71 clubs have orchestrated many events across our district, each one showcasing the essence and benefits of Toastmasters, from creative workshops to engaging community outreach programmes. These initiatives have been continuously inspired and lifted by our members. Among these outstanding events, one stood out as a shining example of our community engagement and historical celebration. The Public Relations Manager Award goes to a remarkable leader from Blarney Toastmasters, Lillian Courtney. And this is in commemoration of Toastmasters' 100th anniversary. Lillian orchestrated an extraordinary event that brought our mission and story to the heart of Cork. She secured an invitation from the Lord Mayor of Cork, opening doors of the historic City Hall to over 40 Toastmasters. This event was not just a tour, it was a vibrant exchange of stories, experiences, and the profound impact of Toastmasters has had on countless lives. This tour of City Hall was a remarkable journey through history, where Lillian and her fellow Toastmasters shared the remarkable journey of our organisation, where they highlighted the transformative power of public speaking and leadership, inspiring many in attendance and beyond. This event was a testament to the strength and reach of Toastmasters. It has served a powerful promotional milestone during our centenary year. Lillian's dedication, creativity and passion has elevated our community and expanded our reach. Her ability to connect, inspire and lead is truly exceptional. Please join me in congratulating Lillian for her outstanding contribution to Blarney Toastmasters and the entire district. Thank you, Lillian, for your unwavering commitment and for making this centenary celebration one to remember. Please give Lillian a big round of applause.
Thank you so much, Sue. Wonderful and well done to Lillian. So we're moving along to our team of the year, and I'm going to call on one of our new friends of the district, parliamentarian extraordinaire, Rick Sidor. If you're in the building, come and join me on the virtual stage. And Rick is going to be announcing our team of the year.
Thank you, Olga. Madam President Morag, past Presidents Pat and Ted, other past directors present this evening, Madam Director Elizabeth, and fellow District 71 Toastmasters and guests. A little background. I got to meet Elizabeth after the Region 10 parliamentary session put on by past International President Pat Johnson in May 2022. At our first private Zoom chat, Elizabeth asked me, what is the secret to success as I work my way to district director? I said, first of all, you want to start developing teams to assist you when you are the district director. Delegate and follow up. You don't have to do everything yourself. Enjoy the ride because it's only 365 days. And guess what, Elizabeth? You only have 2 more to go. And of course, those magic 5 words when chairing a meeting. If there is no objection. That way you don't have to vote on everything. District 71, you will agree with me that Elizabeth did a fantastic job this year. I have been asked to present the District 71 Team of the Year. The award goes to 3 individuals that I have met on Zoom. They are most deserving of this recognition, and I hope that we can meet in person at the Anaheim International. I'm not going to ask you to unmute your mics, but do put your hands together and clap, stomp your feet, and cheer as we welcome the parliamentary team who made things happen at both the fall and spring council meeting, plus the district executive committee meetings. Parliamentarian Larry Lyons, election chair Nick Collins, and credentials chair Pauline McCabe. I look forward to seeing all my District 71 friends on the big stage in Anaheim, and I hope to join you there. Thank you, Olga, and I return control to you.
Thank you so much, Rick. And you're so right about teams. Get a really good team in place and just hold on to their shirt tails and they'll take you great places. So thank you. We're now moving on to the next award, which is the Above and Beyond Award. So somebody who has gone way above what's expected and done extraordinary things. And I'd like to welcome one of our new friends of District 71, past International President Pat Johnson. If you could join me on the virtual stage.
Thank you so much, Olga. Madam International President, past International President and friend Ted Corcoran, past international directors in the audience, and your past district leaders, friends in Toastmasters. It's my privilege to be able to announce the winner of your award for Above and Beyond. It piques my imagination what you would have to do in a select distinguished district to appear and show up as the person who went above and beyond. So I searched out some data on this person. First of all, they're recognized for their commitment and hard work beyond their assigned role. There was a select distinguished status involved in the division. They work closely with the club growth director to present roadshows around Ireland, and their close relationship with corporate clubs ensured membership renewals and weak clubs returning to great standing. There was support for any member of the DLT team in providing training, visits to weak clubs, and more. This person is recognized as reliable, hardworking, and passionate. So without any doubt, this person is obviously worthy of the Above and Beyond Award. And that person is our Division B Director, James Finnegan. Congratulations, James.
Thank you very much, past International President Pat Johnson, and congratulations, James. You are one of the most gracious Toastmasters that I've come across, a wonderful man to work with. So we're moving on now to our next award, and this is the Step Up to Service Award. And once again, I'm going to invite one of our new friends, Kajatan Barreto, to step up onto the virtual stage and present the award to the person who has stepped up to service.
Thank you, Olga. The person that I'm recognizing is committed, courageous, and conscientious. She's being recognized because she steps up to help when asked to do so. And here are some of the notable activities. She was the District Help Hub co-lead, Pathways Champion assisting individuals and clubs, and a very popular trainer at COTs and at all levels for that matter. The award goes to Patricia Redley from Power Mills Club and Cornerstone Communicators Advanced Toastmasters Club.
Thank you so much, Kajetan. And I believe Patricia is somewhere in the audience. And congratulations and thank you, Kajetan. Now we're moving on to the ones that you've all been waiting for, the traditional Hall of Fame awards. And we're going to start with our Area Director of the Year. Now, there's 45 areas in the district. So there's 45 people sitting on the edge of their seats, hoping that they will be that area director. So I'd like to welcome up our distinguished Toastmaster and past district director, Jared Mannix, to join me here and reveal who has achieved Area Director of the Year.
Thank you very much indeed, Olga. Good evening, Toastmasters and all. What a fantastic evening we're having. Well done to everybody organizing this special Hall of Fame. My call to duty this evening is to announce the District 71 Area Director Toastmaster of the Year for 2023-24. As Olga has said, in District 71, we have 45 area directors. I would first of all like to point out congratulations and a sincere Toastmasters thank you and for the great job you have done working with the clubs to provide a quality experience for both the members and guests. The District 71 Toastmaster of the Year was selected for many reasons. All clubs in the area were president distinguished. Beyond the member's roles as an area director, this member has provided technical support to the Liverpool and to the Portlaoise Conference. Finally, he also found time to conduct youth leadership program. Ladies and gentlemen, the area director of District 71 for the year 2022-23 is Michael McCann of Division C, Area 16, and he's from the Navan Toastmaster Club. I want to invite you to congratulate Michael on his achievement of being selected for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jared, and congratulations to Michael McCann. Well done. So we now are moving on to our Division Director of the Year. Once again, our new friends are probably sorry they became friends because they're doing most of the presenting tonight. I'm going to call back onto the stage our past International President, Pat Johnson, to award the Division Director of the Year. So over to you, Pat.
Thank you so much again, Olga. Well, congratulations, first of all, to every division director for stepping forward, to taking on new challenges, to leading your team of area directors and your clubs within your division, and all the learnings that you take away that'll affect your life as you go out into the world with those skills. And may it take you in interesting paths in your life. The Division Director of the Year award this year is awarded to Division F Director Charles Malone. Congratulations, Charles. So why Charles? Why would we pick Charles? Well, he's known as being courageous. He's a real people person who shares knowledge across the district. He's also popular with his peers and known as a natural networker. Charles helps out wherever he's needed at contests or other events. And he's also been working on a pre-charter club, and he hopes to charter that within the next year. So he's got to jump on next year, and that's wonderful. Charles gets things done. Division F is President's Distinguished this year. Congratulations to each one of your members who worked towards that achievement. He's very supportive of his area directors, has had Toastmasters promoted locally and in radio and newspapers. And Charles celebrates success at every opportunity, and we all know how important it is to celebrate success and recognition. An exemplary Toastmaster and division director, we, in turn, Charles, celebrate your success. Congratulations and the very best in your future Toastmastering journey. Everyone, please join me in congratulating Charles. Over to you, Olga.
Thank you, Pat, and well done, Charles. He was wondering why I was texting him the other day, asking him for a photograph of himself. So now you know why. But I decided to choose one, a lovely one from the conference of you and Ted. So congratulations, well deserved. Moving swiftly along, I now have come to the part of the District Director Special Award, and there's 3 of them. So I'd like to welcome our wonderful District Director, Elizabeth Jordan, to join me and lead this session.
Thank you very much, Madam Host Olga. There are many people in the district who do wonderful things, and it would be great to give everyone an award, but unfortunately, that is not the case. So we have to decide who to give awards to. One of the great things about being a district director is I do have some leeway in actually having that oversight of those people who may not win traditional awards, but who definitely have stepped up, gone above and beyond, and done more. So this year, we're going to have 3 District Directors Special Awards. I will introduce the first one. This award is being awarded to someone because they have embodied the values of Toastmasters. They are dedicated to excellence, and above all, they do deliver. They have their division is President's Distinguished. They provided the district with the very first chartered club, and we knew we were on our way when we had our first club chartered. I'm really impressed by the forethought, things like succession planning, the contribution they make at DOT and at extended DLT meetings. Basically, an all-round inspiration. I'm not totally surprised by this because the first recipient of the District Director Special Award is Distinguished Toastmaster John Cox, who is the past District Director. Let's celebrate and applaud John Cox, Division E Director.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, over to you, Madam Host.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. And we're moving on to meeting our Finance Manager, Anthony Phelan, who's going to come and award our 2nd District Director Special Award. So I'm hoping that Anthony is in the building.
Yes, I'm here.
Brilliant. Come on aboard.
So yeah, this year's District Director, or one of this year's District Director Special Award, goes to somebody who led their division under very challenging circumstances, but with a clear purpose and determination. They also led an impressive rescue of a club that was down to 1 member, and that club now has 15 members and it's continuing to grow. Their division is using AI in a very innovative way to write PR material that helped grow clubs in the division. And also 2 of the 4 district contest winners are from their division. They also celebrated Scotland's 10 years as a separate division, However, they also suffered the unfortunate passing of District Toastmaster Helen and husband Cameron within weeks of each other, unfortunately. And despite that, this year's District Director Special Award goes to Phil Sturgeon of Division S. Congratulations, Phil. Well done.
Philip Cooper.
Apologies, Phil Cooper from Scotland. I get my division directors mixed up there. Apologies, everybody.
And you're all so good. What can you do? So thank you very much, Anthony. And I'd like to welcome to present the next District Director Special Award, our International President, Morag. So please come on board and present this award, please.
Thank you very much, Olga. I first met this recipient at the International Convention in Las Vegas in 2011. I didn't meet him in an education session. I met him at a party being held in someone's room with a gathering of Toastmasters from Europe, from South Africa, and some friends from other parts of the world. The next year, I met him again at the International Convention in Florida, at a party. This time, the party was in his room, and he showed me he knows how to host a party. After that, I met him again, but this time it was in your district, when your district conference was in Dublin in 2016, and he was the conference chair. He showed me that he can do so much more than host a party. He showed me that he knows how to build a team, how to work with people, how to make dreams become reality while striving for excellence and making sure that everyone goes home with that incredible feeling of this was worth everything that I put into it. After this year's your district conference, one of your members said, "This is the best event I've attended. I feel like I met a family I'd been missing for years, and I didn't know I had. Overflowing with inspiration and love after the weekend. And I can't wait to continue to grow personally and collectively." That's what great conference directors do. They build a team to create a space where people are inspired to come back again and again. It is my honour and privilege to recognise on behalf of your district director, this year's conference director, Peter Kieran.
Thank you very much, Madam International President Morag. And now we're leading up to the big event. It's like the Oscars. It's been like the Oscars tonight with misplaced envelopes and wrong names. But tonight we are now at the Best Actor or Best Actress, which is our Toastmaster of the Year. And I'm going to invite Ted Corcoran. And I was asked to say a few words about Ted ahead of the speech. And I said, oh my gosh, just a few. Where can you begin with a man like Ted Corcoran? So just a couple of words that leapt into my mind as I took pen to paper were author, leader, mentor, orator, inspirational speaker, and known in Ireland and in England as the Irish Oracle. Two things that I would like to focus on, which he taught me about, was the servant leadership. I'd never really heard of it till Ted explained it to me, and what an amazing thing to be a passionate advocate about. It's the effective leader striving to serve others rather than being at the forefront and looking for all that recognition. And I think that's a marvelous thing to feel so passionately about. And the other thing is, I think, Ted, you drove and created the distinguished program. And I think you shared with me that you had this inspiration, I think in New York City at a crossroads, crossing the road, or some big American city. But here we are today, just doing that, celebrating our clubs for all their achievements. They've got structure, they've got goals. It's like those smart set of goals. They know where they're going because a man like Ted was inspired on a crossroads in New York City. So without any delay, I'd like to welcome Ted with a speech entitled Standing on the Shoulders of Giants.
International President Morag, past International President Pat Johnson, past International Director Rick Sider, District Director Elizabeth, dignitaries, fellow Toastmasters. If I have seen further than others, it's by standing upon the shoulders of giants. So said Sir Isaac Newton, the famous English scientist of the 17th, 18th century. This evening, we are here because of giants who have built Toastmasters International. Giants like our founder, Brad Smedley, and many, many others, whose inspired efforts will be recognized at the centenary celebrations at the International Convention in Anaheim this coming August. But today, I wish to briefly dwell on the local giants that have built us as Toastmasters, built our clubs, and built our district. Let's deal with our personal experiences at our clubs first. Each one of you here most likely has a favorite mentor, advisor, or helper who was instrumental in helping take your first, perhaps unsteady steps in your Toastmasters career. Always ready to help and support us, these were our giants when we needed them in our early days. I remember especially Dick Hassan from the Malahide Club, Jim Lattin of the Atlanta Club, and Henry Leonard Thomas, the Dublin Club, who were particularly helpful to me in my first few years. Even though they were active members of their respective clubs, they didn't spare themselves in ensuring my Fingal club got off to a successful start. Some nearly 40 years ago, as well as ensuring the rudiments of public speaking and club leadership were instilled in me and my fellow members. I will always remember them with great fondness and respect. No doubt you've had such dedicated Toastmasters in your lives and clubs too. Please take a moment now to remember them. Currently, I bet that very many of you are regarded by new and newish members as their giants to whom they look up to. Please keep up the good work. Turning now to our district and the territorial council that preceded, it's almost 100 years since the first club of these islands was founded in Southport in England in 1935 by William Lancaster, who was shortly afterwards elected to the board of directors at the 1936 convention in Santa Barbara. Sadly, he passed away a year later. Our first giant was sadly no more. The Toastmasters bug had already spread across the border to Scotland, where the first club, Glasgow, was chartered in May 1937 by William Goldie. Very quickly, in December 1945, District 18 was formed with just 6 clubs. Over the next decade or so, the number of clubs had grown to 20 by 1950, and amazingly had mushroomed to 59 by 1953. Amazing growth generated by the giants of the time. It took almost another 20 years for the first club to be chartered in Ireland. The Dublin Club, built and chartered in 1958 by our own Irish giant, Paddy Cunningham. It was a difficult and complicated chapter, but the full story can be read in the book entitled A Comprehensive History of Toastmasters in Great Britain and Ireland, authored by a diligent, mature member with an interesting career behind him. By 1972, there were some 150 clubs in these islands. But differences of opinion between Toastmasters International and our leaders here prompted some 120 clubs, principally in Scotland, to leave and form their own organisation, subsequently named the Association of Speakers Clubs. The remaining 21 English, 3 Scottish, and 7 Irish clubs were pulled together by the next giant of the times, Gaylord Giles, and with the blessing of TI were assigned to the proposed new District 71 in April 1972. Our district continued to grow and grow until finally in 2014 it was reformed into 2 districts, 71 and 91, each of which has continued to thrive and have now a total of some 350 clubs between them. You can only imagine the number of giants, too many to mention, involved in this huge growth and development. And there is one other individual giant that I must particularly mention. He is Toastmaster John Smith. John moved from Essex in England to Edinburgh and almost immediately formed the first club in Scotland after a lapse of 22 years. This was Capital Communicatives, chartered on May the 1st, 1995. Today, there are 18 clubs in Scotland, thanks to the initiative of the said John Smith, who was named Toastmaster of the Year in 1994-95, the year I served as District Governor. Moving to today here in District 71, I wish to recognise the officers and members of the 115, 60% of our clubs who have achieved distinguished status of better this year. What a performance. Heroes, every one of you. Please take a bow. And if your club isn't distinguished, there's always next year, and we are all here to help in every way we can. And we can't overlook our current district leaders, District Director Elizabeth and the district leadership team, which includes division and area directors, the giants who led our district to select distinguished status this year, distinguished for the first time in 10 years. As I've said often, when our clubs are distinguished, are successful, it follows that our district will be too. So the district is all of us. Every giant, known and unknown down the years, deserves to have awards named after them, whether they have helped us personally, helped our clubs, or helped our district. We will remember them collectively tonight with sincere appreciation. The chorus of the following song is so appropriate because that's what these heroes did and what we as Toastmasters do. It goes as follows. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Without thinking too much about it, that's what we unselfishly do in our clubs. We raise our members up, and long may we continue to do so. Turning now to the trophy, which will be presented shortly to the Toastmasters of the Year. It is named after Gaylord Giles, mentioned earlier, placing an earlier one that went missing years ago. Gaylord laid the foundations of the new D71 in 1972 after the departure of the some 120 clubs, mostly Scottish. He had the knowledge and experience from his previous Toastmaster service in Oklahoma, and also the diplomatic skills to bring the British and Irish clubs together. At the first District 71 conference in London in May 1973, he and his wife, Nora, were made a presentation, as well as a framed statement of appreciation for a man, quote, who during his stay in the United Kingdom devoted his time and energy towards the betterment of Toastmasters International in Great Britain and Ireland, end of quote. And very richly deserved it was too. Tonight, I ask everyone and the award recipient to always remember the words of the American author, Jamie Harrison, who wrote, and I quote, "We stand on the shoulders of giants, and that's something we can never forget." Just like Sir Iris Newton. Better believe it, fellow Toastmasters. Back to you, host.
Thank you very much, past International President Ted Corcoran, for wonderful inspirational words and telling us all here a little bit more about Giles, Gaylord Giles. So now I would like to welcome up for the big reveal. I'd like to welcome up Elizabeth Jordan, and I would like Ted Corcoran to stay spotlighted for our audience. And if they can both join me here on the stage. And I will pass to them to reveal the big moment. It's been such a secret. Nobody's been allowed to see it. We had one person see it this morning. And so it's a hugely well-kept secret. So over to you, Madam District Director Elizabeth.
Thank you very much, Madam Host. The next award, as Madam Host said, is the Toastmaster of the Year, the Gaylord Giles Toastmaster of the Year Award. It is the most prestigious and the most highly anticipated. Its recipient is a highly respected and great member of the district. And it's only right that the person who presents it to her is our very own oracle, wise man, much loved and respected, past international president, distinguished Toastmaster, Ted Corcoran.
Thank you, Madam District Director. The Toastmaster of the Year 2023-24 is Distinguished Toastmaster Sarinka Hango, a member of Glasgow Clyde Toastmasters, Division S, Area 20, who celebrated 20 years as a Toastmaster this year. Sarinka is being recognized for her dedication, commitment, and hard work this year, and especially during the COVID period, when she worked tirelessly with other Zoom masters to keep District 71 running. Sarinka embodies the Toastmasters values in everything she does. She is trusted and highly respected in District 71 and globally. When she is leading or as part of a team, you are confident that you are in good hands. Together with David Clinton, Distinguished Toastmaster, she worked closely with the district leadership team and the parliamentary team to ensure that all DEC meetings and DCM meetings ran smoothly. Sarinka is a natural servant leader. She exudes excellence, enthusiasm, and integrity. For these and many other reasons, she is the District 71 choice as Toastmaster of the Year and is the first recipient of the Gaylord Giles Perpetual Trophy. Congratulations, District Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster, and Toastmaster of the Year, Sarinka Hango. Sarinka, it gives me great pleasure to present you with the Gaylord Giles Perpetual Trophy as the District 71 Toastmaster of the Year 2023-2024. Congratulations once more. Back to you, Madam Host.
Thank you very much to District Director Elizabeth and past International President Ted and Sarinka. Many, many congratulations. You so deserve this award. And we're going to ask you to just stay on stage a minute. We're going to have James Finnegan, if you can, everyone can locate James, is going to have, hopefully you're up for it, because I know you have been sick earlier in the week, just a few words with yourself, just to, so everyone can get to know you more, because I'm sure they would all love to hear a little bit more about our wonderful, wonderful Toastmaster of the Year. So over to you, James.
Thank you very much, Madam Host. And congratulations, Sarinka. This award could not have gone to a more deserving person. Now, I know that you've been a Toastmaster for 20 years. So, I mean, you must have started just after kindergarten. What first brought you into Toastmasters, Sarinka?
Good afternoon, everybody in the audience, EID Ted Corcoran, Didi, Elizabeth, Distinguished Toastmaster, and all the other Distinguished Toastmasters and past district directors in the audience. What brought me to Toastmasters? Shyness, not being able to express myself. And my manager 20 years ago said, if you want to go further, Toastmaster can be a solution in your life. So I joined the corporate club for the bank I was working at that time.
And you're still a member there, aren't you, Sarinka?
I am still a member of that club. Although far away, they do hybrids, and they did hybrid before the pandemic. So I'm still a member there.
And what club are you with at the moment?
Currently, I'm a member of Glasgow Clyde Toastmasters Club in Scotland, where I'm residing.
And of course, this is not the first award you've received this year. You are the Division S Toastmaster of the Year. And may I just quote the citation that you received? For the hard work in Division S and beyond, always willing to go the extra mile. Because it might not be widely known, Sarinka, but you're one of our members whose expertise and experience goes far beyond the district. You were also very helpful to the Caribbean Conference in District 81.
Correct. Correct.
See, be a Zoom master, travel the world.
That's true. That's true. I have helped in Asia. Anyway, wherever they ask me if I have time, I'll go and help, regardless the time of the day.
Well, I can vouch for that myself because been technically challenged, this calm, reassuring, gentle soul that's the other side of the Zoom link is a wonderful opportunity and a wonderful resource to have. And you are respected and loved all around the division, all around the district and beyond. But could I suggest that even your greatest title would be, I think, Mum to Vicky?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues, Madam International Director Morag, past International President Pat, past International President Ted, Madam District Director Elizabeth, distinguished guests, visitors, friends of District 71, and fellow Toastmasters, please give it up for the Toastmaster of the Year, Ms. Serenka Yenga.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you all know who are my mentors. I don't want to mention names, not to forget any. To start with Nick Lagani, David Clinton, and you name it. Hi, Nick.
Back to you, Madam Host.
Thank you very much to James, and congratulations to Serenka. And now that everybody's met you, there's people who didn't know you, you're going to be more in demand than you ever were. So well done, congratulations. We're now moving on to the penultimate part, which is our Poet in Residence. And it's a very fitting way to be the penultimate part, because Poet in Residence was an initiative initiated by our current district director, Elizabeth Jordan. So I'd like to welcome up Mike, who's penned a poem specifically for tonight. Here he is on the stage, so over to you, Mike.
Thank you, Madam, and all the distinguished guests and all Toastmasters. I finished this poem around 4 o'clock this morning, waking up, it was nice and quiet. I called it The Snowball. Give us another of those speeches, an eager listening crowd beseeches. With cool connecting clarity, you reach the very heart of me, uncovering uniqueness under, waking to witness wonder. Hard to bring to an end, a great year overflowing. What ended as rich reaping began as many sowing. Some facing down their fears, while others shot to stardom. And at gatherings you felt a buzzing collective freedom. All of 100 years a-growing. It started with one snowball, knowing that if it rolled, it would grow in time, through spoken word and silent mime. Past and present now cross swords. This is the evening for awards. So take a bow, your time is now. Your name has been exalted. You've done your best through work and zest. Blocked, but you were not halted. The guardian of a treasure, the keeper of the flame. We honor you here tonight, call you each by name. Leaders, mentors, models, a constant chain of command. As the torch is passed by you to another outstretched hand. Toastmasters influence by what they do. They inspire by who they're being. Nobody has to tell you. You feel it in your own well-being. He gets up and makes his points. He knows how to deliver. Often takes the scenic route. He's flowing like a river. And she can win the crowd in seconds. Her natural spirit taught her. Just like the snowball on the hill. She feels it in her water. You see, The pen is mightier than the sword, and the tongue is mightier than the pen. But if you take another step back, you'll see what's mightier again. Because when all speeches have been spoken and stacked upon the shelf, what stays evergreen is you, the spoken word itself. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our poet in residence, Mike Keenan, for some wonderful words, scripted specifically or created for tonight's event. Thank you so much. So we are at the end. There's just one important person to come back on stage who's worked tirelessly this year. We've become a distinguished division or district. So I'd like to welcome back our wonderful district director, Elizabeth Jordan.
Thank you, Madam Host. I have to correct you. We are not a distinguished district. We are a select distinguished district. You've got to get that right. My fellow Toastmasters, most distinguished guests, and apologies, I forgot to mention our past international director, Teresa Dukes. I didn't see you the first time, but all our most distinguished guests, all our, as I said, family, friends, colleagues, members of the district, our international president, thank you. Thank you for being here tonight to be with us to celebrate success and excellence in our district. I was greatly inspired by your speech, Madam International President. I actually worked in a lab with about 5 Nobel winners walking up and down each day. I didn't know Toastmasters at the time, so I couldn't even make that connection. I wish I could. But thank you for bringing clarity and inspiration to us. Thank you, past International President Cochrane, for making us remember that we do stand on the shoulders of giants and we stand on each other's shoulders. I applaud the winners. It was very difficult to choose in some ways, but not in others, but all the winners, well done. You are a beacon of excellence in our district, and long may that continue. As I said, I have 2.5 days left as your district director. And I just want to say it has been an absolute privilege to serve you. I have loved the teams I have worked with. I have loved going around the country, going around Ireland, the UK to your meetings, and it has just filled me with great pride, humility, and joy. So with that, I want to thank you for making tonight a celebration, making it memorable for me, and I hope memorable for you. So thank you very much. Welcome our new friends to District 71, and look forward to seeing many of you very, very soon. So thank you and good night to all of you.